This week on B&B Movie Reviews, Denzel Washington and Spike Lee team up again for the 5th time, and Austin Butler gets caught stealing in New York City.
We investigate the final case of Ed and Lorraine Warren, possibly, and Stephen King takes us on a long walk. Don't go anywhere. B&B is coming up next.
On the chorus, ad-lib a little bit. Layer the vocals differently. Something like, where's my money? I got the 4-pounder sitting right here. Don't try nothing funny.
Something like that. You know, Nazir, 93, 94.
And all that old shit you talking about now, it's something more like, I got the blicky on me, OG, so don't try nothing tricky on me, OG.
I got mine too, young G, 9mm, and a lot of reasons why you shouldn't f with me either, young G. I'm the one that can pay you. I don't need to be the one that's gonna slay you.
Is this a battle right now?
I'm the brutalizer. I'm the Buddhicizer. I'm the accelerator. I ain't the type of that be pissing in your elevator, but sometimes the rap game remind me of the crap game. I used to sport Bally's and Gazelles with black frames, but now I'm in the new chicks, Tex, and Becks. Come on, represent. Give me something.
Denzel Washington and A$AP Rocky have a lyrical sparring match when they finally confront each other in one of the highlight scenes of the latest collaboration between Denzel and Spike Lee in Highest to Lowest, a reimagining of the classic Akira Kurosawa film High and Low. Bryan.
That's the best scene in the movie.
Yes.
It's kind of a shame that you just spoiled it.
It's on Apple TV Plus now. It had its theatrical run. It's an amazing scene.
The two of them together, just like firing at it, and the way that scene does reimagine the jailhouse plexiglass scene of High and Low, the Kurosawa movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you reimagine a movie. Like, that is like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and I love what Spike Lee was doing when he said, like, okay, this is not a remake of the classic film. This is a reimagining. And what I like about what Spike Lee did is that he took this story, which is a story that we've seen done throughout time. Like,
this is an adaptation of an Ed McBain novel, King's Ransom. So it's a Japanese filmmaker adapting, a pulp crime book from America being reimagined by, one of our great contemporary directors. Yeah,
and how Kurosawa makes that movie definitively his, Spike Lee does the same thing with this movie. And I say that in relation to the setting of it, like the New York setting. Like
this movie took place in New York? Is that what? That's a real surprise to me.
I know, a Spike Lee movie.
I thought it was Boston. Anyway,
but like the way he captures New York City, and he does this in all of his movies. But to have this story set in New York City, the way he kind of just embraces the city, I thought was a really.
You have to approach this movie as a Spike Lee movie if you have recently watched the Kurosawa film. Or if you're holding that Kurosawa film in your imagination, you're going to do yourself a great disservice. Don't compare and despair here. Like, Kurosawa's Kurosawa, okay? Yes. Spike Lee's not touching Kurosawa.
No, he's not.
But this is such a Spike Lee movie. So if you are in like a Spike Lee celebration mode, I think you're going to have a fun time with this movie. It's not perfect.
Yes.
It's not perfect.
The movie gets off to a little bit of a rough start. I'm not going to say that first act, especially a lot of the stuff that's happening in the apartment, even watching the movie, I'm like, this movie is taking some time to find its footing.
I think some of my problems with this film are in performance and characterization.
Okay.
Like, the police in this movie are awful. Not awful for the reasons I want them to be awful.
Some of the casting, I'm not sure the actor's name, but the guy that's in those like State Farm commercials.
Mayhem. I'm blanking on it too. From Law and Order SVU. And Oz. He was in Oz. I love him. I think he's great.
He's a great actor.
I'm so mad that I can't think of his name right now.
But it threw me off because every time I saw him, I was getting distracted from those.
Yeah, the characterization's not good, and the performance with that characterization just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I also think like just some of the logic of the crime that is being committed I really like A$AP Rocky, and I like ultimately his reasonings for the crime.
Yeah.
But he apparently has this whole crew, but we never really see this whole crew except in one sequence, which I think is actually a lot of fun. The money drop-offs.
The money drop-offs, where they're going back and forth and with the bag of money and trying to, I like that a lot. I think you're right about the casting. I think a lot of the supporting cast can be a little questionable as far as like some of their performances or just the casting.
But A$AP Rocky, I thought was really great.
Yeah, A$AP was really
Denzel's
good.
Great.
And Denzel and Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, Jeffrey Wright.
I think the top tier actors in this movie really carry this movie, and the relationship that Jeffrey Wright has with Denzel, especially bringing up that moral conundrum as far as like seeing what happens.
Honestly, I think that's where this movie really fails, is in its morality.
Okay.
And the way that Denzel Washington doesn't front the money for his driver's kid.
Yeah.
You know, it makes Denzel look like kind of a terrible person.
Yeah.
And they never really reckon with that.
Yeah, they don't. And that was something I had an issue with, because like when that switch happens and you see where like his loyalties lie.
Yeah.
We don't reckon with his character, or he doesn't
We don't really understand in this version of the movie why Denzel cannot give up the money. Like, they don't sell that the way that they do in High and Low. Because in High and Low, that guy gives up that money, he is ruined.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
This, maybe he won't be able to be in that, amazing apartment.
Yeah.
He goes down one little level of wealth.
Okay.
And in this era of America,
Yeah, that's true.
it's hard to root for this crazy millionaire.
That's true. What's your rating for this?
I love Spike Lee. It's a fun Spike Lee movie.
Yeah.
If you're a Spike Lee fan, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
We're the B&B show. If we love something, we give it a B+. If we don't like something, we give it a B-. The Spike Lee fan in me says you gotta watch it. It's a B+.
Oh, it's B+ for me as well. Like I said, all the things that you were saying that I think a lot of people may have criticisms with, I can't fault them for that, but for some reason it just kind of worked for me. And it's a movie that I was thinking about leaving the theater.
It's just fun.
And it really feels like a fun movie. And Denzel is just always charismatic to watch. And I like what him and some of the other characters are doing. I thought Jeffrey Wright was a standout for me personally. Yeah. So yeah, it's a B+.
Always good.
Yeah, B+. So yeah, those are my thoughts on highest to lowest. When we return, we look at the latest film from Darren Aronofsky, Caught Stealing. Stay right there.
Every minute counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Call your local Poison Center at 1-800-222-1222.
Today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. A victory that is there for the taking. Grab it.
Now that was a great halftime speech. Let's go win.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Some last call. Drink them if you got them.
Let's go back to your place so you can take advantage of my poor judgment.
I depend on your poor judgment.
I want to know if I can take this seriously.
What do you need to take us seriously?
Come on, kids, get a room.
Sorry, Miss Kitty. Oi! What the fuck you doing, geezer? Is that the best you can do?
I've got to fly back to London. I need you to take care of my cat.
I like cats.
I like dogs.
Hey, is Russ home?
Who are you?
What's the baby, man?
Ex-baseball player Hank gets caught up in a dangerous game amidst the criminal underbelly of 1990s New York City in the latest Darren Aronofsky film, Caught Stealing. Bryan, interesting to follow highest to lowest, this celebration of Spike Lee with Caught Stealing.
Okay.
A celebration of Darren Aronofsky?
And another New York City film. Yeah, he's doing something different here. that he hasn't done before.
When you watch the trailer of this film and then it says like, oh, it's a Darren Aronofsky film, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because this feels like a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
It feels like a film from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It certainly feels like it was written 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Aronofsky shows off his camera work. He's like, yo, I got drones. You want to see drones? I'm going to show you drones.
He loves drones, man.
He loves drones. But it's a very, I don't want to call it fluffy movie, but there's not a lot there under the surface of the screenplay.
Yeah, it's a very showy movie. Like you were saying, it feels like it's Darren Aronofsky really trying to do his Guy Ritchie, Tarantino-esque type movie.
Yeah, it feels like he just watched Pulp Fiction last week, and he's like, I got to do my Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, and to his credit, and what you had said before, I kind of like the fact that it feels like a movie that was made 30 years ago, because, I mean, there's something that's kind of tactile and tangible about going around New York City, being on these sets, and kind of, it feels like it's something from 1998.
But I feel like you got to update your morality in this movie.
Well, yes.
Talk about a movie that has real problems.
Yes, that you're right.
At its moral center.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to spoil too much, but people suddenly die.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I think like everyone who dies so that Austin Butler can learn something. And the fact that Austin Butler hasn't learned something before this film even starts based on his past experiences is like, come on, dude. You know, you're trapped because of a traumatic event in your past. And the plot of this movie is basically operating to get him healed. It's this character's therapy. I find that a little gross.
I agree, and my issue with that, and we had talked about this, and you had brought this point up, that maybe kind of see the movie in a different kind of light, where to me, I don't think it would have been a problem if I felt that Darren Aronofsky was using that point of the fact that you see multiple people die because of the interactions with Austin Butler. If he
Not
was
just the interactions, the actions.
The actions, yes, yes. But if he in some way in the film was trying to make a statement about that.
Right, yeah, like
and
if that character
like
reckoned with the catastrophe that that was in his wake, I think you have a different movie. Instead, what you have is a film that's like, hey, this is fun.
Yeah,
and it is.
It is. I mean, you can have fun if you're just kind of looking at it on a surface level, but also because of that point that you make, it feels like Darren Aronofsky, because if you look at his past films, he still tries to bring in that darkness from a lot of his other films, whether it be The Whale or Requiem for a Dream.
I mean, I think it is interesting that his last movie was The Whale, though, right? Like this super morose, heavy, pun intended, dark Oscar baity thing. He comes off of that and he's like, I can chill out. I can have fun.
Yeah.
I like guns. You know, it's just I don't know. It feels weird.
But the phrase that you had said, and I've been repeating it, is the movie feels like it's. Do you want me to say?
Yeah, you can steal my critique.
I don't want to keep taking it from you. A try hard.
Yeah, it's a try hard movie.
Yeah, it feels like it's a try hard movie. And I had mentioned after when the credits started rolling, I leaned over to you and I said, "This feels like it's from a first time filmmaker."
Yeah.
Again, I think there's quality filmmaking in it because Darren Aronofsky has been working since 1998 when he did his first film, Pi, but it feels like he hasn't done something like this.
I think it definitely feels like a first-time screenwriter. You know, I do think you see a lot of flash, a lot of craftsmanship in the filmmaking.
Yes.
But, you know, it wants to be Pulp Fiction and it's actually Albino Alligator, you know, for all three of you who remember that movie.
Dude, like back, people who don't know, back in the 90s and the late 90s, you would go to Blockbuster and see a lot of these like knockoff Tarantino type movies.
2 Days in the Valley.
This actually feels like, I hate to say it, this feels like one of those kind of like rip-off Tarantino movies from the late 90s. So I don't know. What's your rating for this one?
All right, 12-year-old Brad gives us a B+. He doesn't know how the world works. He's a little stupid. He had a great time watching Caught Stealing. Old man Brad?
Yes.
B-.
I agree. I'm with you on that point as well. I think 12-year-old Bryan probably would have gave this a B+, but now, nah. This is a B-.
Zoe Kravitz, come on.
God. Yes, Zoe, please. Please. Anyway, those are our thoughts on Caught Stealing. When we return, Ed and Lorraine Warren are back for their final case. Are they? We'll be back.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
That thing in your attic is a demon. It's the first one that we ever encountered. We were young and we were scared, and we almost lost our daughter. So we told ourselves that the risk was just too great, so we couldn't chance going back. So, yes. We ran away.
Well, take it as a good sign you're still here. We're not leaving you.
In their last paranormal case, Ed and Lorraine Warren must finally face the very entity that they've been running from when they first started investigating the supernatural in The Conjuring: Last Rites. Bryan, this is the fourth Conjuring.
Yep.
But there was also 2 Nun movies and 3 Annabelle films.
3 Annabelles and possibly another one, The Curse of La Llorona. So what's that? 4. Let me see if my
I don't do math. No.
4, 3, 7, 2, 9, 10. 10 movies.
Bryan, I understand this is actually your first.
This is my first, yes. I have never seen any of the previous Conjuring movies. I've heard great things about the first movie, and also the second movie I heard was really good as well. But for some reason, supernatural movies never really kind of did it for me.
In recent months, you've embraced this genre in a way you haven't before. Like you're becoming a little bit of a horror hound, and I love to see it.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think over the last few years, I've actually kind of like dug deeper into horror.
So I've seen all the Conjurings. And I've got intense opinions about all the Conjurings.
Okay.
But I want to know, how did this work for you? How did the last Conjuring movie work for somebody as a first Conjuring
I know, my
film?
first experience of the last movie. It actually worked really well. I think one thing that we were talking about before we went into the theater was the relationship between Ed and Lorraine Warren, which is played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. And I think the two of them together are magnificent. You really feel the chemistry between the two. There's a great family dynamic, especially with their daughter. And you really feel the tension and the stakes when they're going into these cases. And that's one thing that really kind of grabbed me, is like when they kind of get into the thick of these cases, you feel for this family. And they bring in some new dynamics with the daughter and her boyfriend, and then also the family that's kind of paralleling their storyline.
I mean, it has basically the same structure as the first film, where you're following these two families, the Warrens and whatever their names are, and it takes a long time for these two families to meet. And if I had a big complaint about The Conjuring: Last Rites, it's long.
It's
extremely, like 2.5 hours almost.
It's extremely long, and it kind of wears thin after a while. Now, I do like some of the setup of some of the jump scares in the beginning. I thought they really crafted some really good set pieces for that.
It is a jump scare movie. They are cheap, but not cheaply done.
No,
right?
exactly.
It gets the job done.
It does.
It does. It's long. It's a little meandering at times.
It can be tedious.
A little repetitive at times.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it felt like a strong capper to the Conjuring franchise, or at least to Ed and Lorraine Warren's part in it. I'm sure we'll see other people. And the great thing about The Conjuring and following Ed and Lorraine Warren is you just recast and show some earlier stories. Right?
Yeah. I mean, they kind of set that up a little bit in the beginning with the flashback of their first case. There's a lot of different directions they could go with having a younger Ed and Lorraine Warren, or they could continue with their daughter. if they want to do some more stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they say it's based on a true story.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is all hogwash.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
But it's good hogwash. I like me some hogwash.
Yeah, I mean, as for a story, for a movie, it all works.
And Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are
really
like the
good.
stars and the draws of this. And so if you were to lose them, like my interest would disappear a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much about the very end and all the cameos that you have in this movie, but it is kind of wild where this film ends up.
It's a little hokey.
It's a little hokey.
It's just a little hokey. I'm like, oh, okay, are we? Yeah.
But I also kind of liked it. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's a cute horror franchise, The Conjuring.
Yeah, it's like, it kind of reminded me of like the end of Lethal Weapon 4 when you have like the picture book thing at the end. And it's just
should The Conjuring have a Lethal Weapon 4 ending?
This is what I'm saying. What's your rating for this?
You know, I enjoy this franchise. I had a good time. That audience had a great time. You should watch this movie with the crowd. I think if you were to watch this at home, boy, you just really better have a dark home. You got to turn all those lights off.
Turn all lights down.
But I liked it. I had a good time. B+.
I'm gonna say a B+ as well. This is my first experience with the Conjuring film. It does make me actually want to go back and rewatch the previous movies.
Says it all.
So I mean, that right there is a high mark for this movie right there. So I'm gonna give it a B+. So yeah.
Conjuring 2 is where it's at.
Okay, Conjuring 2. All right, perfect. Good to know. All right, so we go from The Conjuring to A Long Walk. So stay right there. We'll talk about Stephen King's latest adaptation. Be right back.
Here's an amazing fact. 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for a person living with sickle cell disease. Could be me, could be you. We can help save lives. Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood to make your appointment to donate today.
Come on, young.
Keep walking.
You got it.
We just gotta stay at this pace.
Good. Come on,
we just gotta stay at this pace.
Boy, you got this, man.
Come on, Curly. Come on, Curly. It's just you and me. Come on. Come on, Curly.
Eyes up.
Come on, Curly.
Come on, young.
Come on, Curly. Come on. Come on, Curly. Come on.
You got it.
Warning, number 7. Third warning.
Get up, kid. Get up, youngin. Get up.
Oh, but it ain't fair. No, it ain't fair.
Raymond tries to help Curly along the long walk when he gets a Charlie horse in his leg and becomes the first of many victims in the Stephen King adaptation, The Long Walk. Brad, okay, so yeah, this is a rough movie. This is a heavy movie.
Yeah.
This is based on a novella, I believe, from Stephen King.
I mean, by anybody else, it would be a novel, but because it's less than 1,000 pages, it's a novella.
It's a novella.
From Stephen King.
And I heard that now he did this under his pen name, Richard Bachman.
Right. It's one of the Bachman books.
One of the Bachman books.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. I have never read it, and I know there's a lot of people when they were younger that have read this book and really loved this book.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
I did.
Did you like the book?
I did, and I loved the movie. I think it's a great adaptation of the book.
Yeah.
You know, it's directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed Constantine and
I Am Legend and most of the Hunger Games movies.
Oh yeah, most of the Hunger Games movies. And those movies are like pretty darn good.
Yeah.
This is his best movie. Like by a lot.
Yeah.
It is a rough film. You call it rough. I mean, I think you do need to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like one of these fun Stephen King horror stories.
No.
This is one of these Stephen King horror stories that's going to make you feel bad for a good portion of the movie.
Yeah.
But it's done so effectively. And the concept is so good.
Yeah.
You know, we're set in some kind of alternate history, 20 years, 19 years after a great war has basically economically devastated America. And we have this game to kind of like unify the country, to give some spirit back into them. And every state gives one boy entry into the long walk.
Yeah.
And so you have 50 boys from 50 states, and you walk until you can't anymore. And it's a simple premise.
Yeah.
It's a devastating
It's devastating.
premise.
The one thing because after we watched this movie, like this movie stayed with me, like it stayed in my soul. Like I was like absorbing a lot of this movie, so I've been thinking about this movie a lot. And I was reading about it, and it looks like this movie was an allegory for like Vietnam. and where they're talking about it's like a draft, and they're bringing these boys in, and like Mark Hamill's character as the major, like when we first at the beginning of this movie, he's talking to all of these boys, and he's like trying to be like inspirational. It's like you're doing this for your state, you're representing your state, and just trying to rile them up. And it's almost like it's like brainwashing and like mind manipulation to these boys who don't really know what happens until they're actually gone. And so it's interesting to kind of see that, looking at when Stephen King wrote this movie and it being kind of an allegory for Vietnam, but then also watching this movie and feeling how topical and present it feels today.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's extremely relatable to everything going on in the country and the world of 2025. I think it's also maybe even more universal than that. Like, we're all on the long walk, right? We all have an end date. We're all walking to our end.
Yeah.
But we're not thinking about it.
We're not thinking about it
most of the time.
I like that. Yeah,
hopefully.
you're right.
And we don't know when we're going to stop walking, or when we can no longer walk anymore. And like, I like a story that takes an extreme metaphor to represent an honest-to-goodness emotional truth. And that's what The Long Walk is doing. Francis Lawrence, though, he is not shying away. He really wants to put your face in the mud. Like, the violence in this movie is graphic.
It's unflinching.
And a couple shots after what we just saw up on the screen in that clip, it's gnarly.
No,
right?
It is.
And I don't think, like, if you think you're going into this because you like it or The Stand,
no,
that's not what The Long Walk is.
I'm telling you,
it's not a fun time.
It's not a fun time, but the movie is entertaining. I've heard a lot of people say this is a great movie that I never would want to watch again. I wouldn't say that. I think this is a movie that, to me, I feel like when you talk about like the Stephen King adaptations that a lot of people go back to, one of his greatest adaptations, Shawshank Redemption, I believe you give this movie some time, this movie is going to be talked about in the same regard.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly. We don't know that, but I'm just saying for me.
I think it is more rewatchable than some movies, like Requiem for a Dream, speaking of Darren Aronofsky. That's a film I watched once and I was like, I'm done. I don't need to see Marlon Wayne's Mashed Potatoes ever again.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Whereas this, I think I need some time before I watch it again.
Yes.
And I do think I need to be in the right headspace to watch The Long Walk. It's not a Saturday night movie for me.
No, it's not. And I mean, before we get out of this segment, I do want to mention Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson.
David Johnson.
And David Johnson is a star in the not even in the making. He's a star. But another thing that really pulled me in was the camaraderie of these characters. When you're on this competition where there's only going to be one person left, I like the fact that these boys are rooting for one another and they're here to kind of help each other. And then there's also kind of like this moral question, that David Johnson's character and Cooper Hoffman's character are having as we get closer to the end of the movie, as far as like what it means to be a good person. And like, if you cross a certain line, can you come back from that?
Right.
And all of these questions and where the movie lands, I don't want to give any spoilers because I think it's a powerful ending. But it's also
walking.
Yeah, people do stop walking. But I think it's also an ending that people will debate and talk about, and that's what I love about this movie, is that it's going to spark a conversation.
So I guess I don't need to ask this question because I know the answer. But what did you give it?
I give this movie a B+. I think this is one of the best movies of the year. I really, really enjoyed this movie, and it's a movie I've been thinking about since we watched it. So, yeah, it's a high mark for me. It's a B+. What about yourself?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I don't know if I loved it as much as you did. But I do think it is one of the better Stephen King adaptations. I will give it a B+, and I would recommend people to watch another Stephen King adaptation that happened this year. And I'm talking to you, Bryan.
Yes, I want to watch it.
Another Stephen King adaptation that has Mark Hamill in it, The Life of Chuck.
Yeah.
So if you need a little antidote to The Long Walk, watch The Life of Chuck.
It might be a good double feature.
It would be a great double feature.
Watch The Long Walk first.
Yes.
Yes, so it was a B+ for you?
B+.
Perfect. All right, so those are our thoughts on The Long Walk, a B+ for both of us. So let's recap what we have discussed today. We started with highest to lowest. Me and Brad both gave that a B+. Then we moved over to Caught Stealing. Unfortunately, that was a B- for us. Then we go over to The Conjuring Last Rites, the last film in the Conjuring universe. We give that one a B+ for both of us. And then we ended with The Long Walk. That is a B+. In my opinion, one of the best movies of the year.
Would you eat popcorn to it, though?
Probably not. No, probably not. All right, so thank you for joining us on this latest episode of B&B Movie Reviews. Come be a part of the conversation. If you have questions, suggestions, feel free to email us at bnbmoviereviews@gmail.com. And with that, we will see you at the movies.